Come on now. Come on now. I'm having a little difficulty here. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello.
I hit it over there. Hello, hello.
Hi,
I
everybody.
agree. Let's get
Hello.
First of all, welcome everybody to Metal Detecting Nation. This is an area or an opportunity for people who love talking about metal detecting to gather together and just chat. We don't know everything, like we always say each week. We definitely aren't know-it-alls. We just really like promoting our hobby and having, again, our nice little chat. Today we have what an amazing guest we have from another country. Unbelievable. We're reaching out. We're really reaching out here.
Totally international.
That's right. We are now international. Absolutely. So, Dave, how you doing? Good?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Everything going well?
Yep.
Kind of weird.
Hi, everybody.
Dave and I were just together detecting not too long ago, like 2 hours ago, but you know, it looks good like this. Nancy, how you doing?
I'm doing great tonight. It's good to be here. I'm excited and ready for this.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Rachel, Audra, good?
Good. We're doing great, dudes.
All right, dudes. I'm going to get a pew pew out of you. And welcome, Liz. Welcome to our awesome Metal Detecting Nation. Thanks for being a part of it tonight.
Thank you very much for having me.
Absolutely. Before we get going with our little interview, Dave, I just want to share a couple things with some people, but I'm not ready to share because I am ill prepared. I wanted to share our new website, and I have it. I'm ready. Our new website, Metal Detecting Nation, is going to, it is live, and I wanted to share it with you guys because it's a really neat place for us to have, I would say, not a conversation. We're not selling anything. It's just an opportunity for us to kind of share what Metal Detecting Nation is about. If you want to go ahead and read all this kind of stuff here, that's great. It's got a link to our channel. But more importantly, if you missed any of our stream, you can go ahead and click the stream replays. And this is what we've done so far. Also, we have our stream calendar for everybody who may want one. And you can go ahead and click to watch. Here's our calendar of events just coming up if you're interested. Obviously today, next week, we're going to have Lori, Eric, and Matt from Relic Dirty Hands. They're going to join us. Ken from the YouTube channel Adventures in Dirt. We're going to have Joel and Doug. Joel is actually in the chat, and he's going to join us in the after party at around 8 o'clock. We're going to try and do a all panel show and tell. We don't have a guest right now, but it would be neat if everyone who was in the chat joined us live to just share some of the things that they have found over the course of the last month. And then finally, February 19th, we have the Hoover Boys coming on. Kurt's going to join us. Talked to him last week through email. And but yeah, if you're interested in wanting to be on, you're more than welcome to send me a little message here and definitely be a part of our Metal Detecting Nation. So here we go. So Liz, I'll ask the first question. When was the first time that you metal detected and what got you hooked?
Oh boy. The first time I metal detected was many, many years ago. I won't say exactly how many, but I had just retired from the police department and I needed a hobby. So I actually saw Nugget Noggin. I don't know how on earth I ever found his channel on YouTube, but I came across his channel and I saw him metal detecting and I thought that is definitely something that I could do. And I ended up buying a very low end bounty hunter. I think it was a fast tracker. And after that, that was it. That was the start of it all.
Awesome. Did you end up going out and metal detecting with anybody, or was it by yourself at first?
Oh gosh, no. At first it was just me because everybody thought that was kind of a weird thing to be doing. So it was just me.
Gotcha. What would you say was the earliest find that kind of hooked you? I've explained that mine was a dime, a silver dime that hooked me. What was kind of your hook, do you think?
Well, when I went by myself, all I got was a bunch of bottle caps and pieces of a Hot Wheels car. But I was invited to go out metal detecting with Don and Judy from the Canadian, oh my goodness, you know something? I just totally forgot I was going to say.
Great.
Oh my goodness, I was asked to metal detect with Don and Judy. Okay, we'll leave it at that. But
Okay.
I did find a Canadian large scent, and after that, that was it. The rest was history.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
Very nice.
very good. Very good. All right, fire away, panel. Fire away.
Well, lately everybody's been talking about their white whales. We all have bucket listers,
Oh.
which are basically achievable. Maybe not tomorrow, maybe 10 years from now, but you know you'll eventually come across one. But what's your white whale?
My white whale is very American. It's not Canadian. There's really nothing Canadian that I really want to get, but I would absolutely love to detect a three ringer or something to do with the Civil War. I would love to get some sort of a bullet, whether it's a Spencer, a three ringer, or a Williams cleaner, which I actually think is probably the coolest bullet ever out there, or a Mercury dime. I'm very easy to please. Very easy to please. Yeah, Mercury dime, or
Very cool.
some sort of a bullet from the Civil War.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's it for me.
We'd like to get a Civil War bullet too.
Right.
Rather than a Civil War era.
It's funny
Right.
because you being in Canada and me being in Dave in the fields here in Ohio, you know, we do find, I wouldn't say a lot of large scents, but we do find large scents a lot. When you talk to people who live on the West Coast of the United States,
Right.
they're begging for large scent. So it's just location, right? That's really
Exactly. And I have found one American large scent, and it was when I went out with Don and Judy once again. Canadian Diggers, sorry, Don and Judy, I do apologize. Their channel is the Canadian Diggers on YouTube.
Okay.
And we were in the Niagara region on on a farm, and I actually found an 1837 American large scent, and it's absolutely beautiful and absolutely incredible find for me.
Nice. Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, what's the favorite thing you found?
Favorite.
That's hard to pick, we know, but
Yeah, that's really hard. Wow. Oh my goodness. I think my most favorite, and I actually just dropped the video yesterday. My most favorite item, and I think it's my most historical item, was the prairie diamond ring that I found. And I actually did not know what a prairie diamond ring is. And I know it's not gonna show up, but I have it here. And like I said, it's the last yesterday's video that I dropped. But I was out detecting with my friend Aaron, and we were in the area of an 1870 road. And I dug this ring, and I really didn't think anything of it because it was really crude. And it was Aaron did say that it looked like it was a horseshoe nail. Now, I had absolutely no idea what a horseshoe nail even looks like, but I put it up on Facebook, and someone said, hey, that's a prairie diamond. And after I did the history about the prairie diamond, I could not believe it. And I think well, I know that is my most favorite find. It's nothing that's worth any money, or there's no real monetary value, but the history and just the background to the item is just absolutely incredible. And honestly, that to me is what metal detecting is all about. It's about the history of an item, not the monetary value. I know there's people out there that it will say differently, but to me, it's the history behind the item.
Definitely.
and that video was awesome. We just watched it as soon as it came out, actually. And I really enjoyed that history snip that you put in there explaining about it. It was very interesting.
Thank you.
Your videos are always very good. We enjoy them, and your live streams every week, which I'm sure we're going to share about that. But
yeah,
thank you.
I appreciate that. I really do. I really do.
Awesome.
Thank you.
What's the furthest you've ever traveled to detect?
The furthest actually was Pound the Ground last October. I think it took about 8 hours, and that was absolutely an amazing event. More so than the finds were the people that I met. I mean, I met people that I actually can't even remember that I met them, but I know I did. And it was an amazing, oh my goodness. It was just incredible, absolutely incredible time. And if you ever get a chance to like drive a few hours and go to a place like this, do so. It's definitely worth it. Definitely worth it.
It was a blast.
It was a
Yeah.
blast. Absolutely.
Liz, a question from the chat where you were just showing your ring. How many rings have you found? Is that your first one that you found, or has it been several others?
Oh no. I have found a lot of rings, and I know that I know there's a lot of people out there that if you ask them how many rings they found or how many silver dimes they found, they can tell you exactly how many they found. But I do not keep track of how many items that I found. It's just not something that I do. But I when I find an item, I appreciate the item and I enjoy the item, and that's just me. That's just me.
Right on, right on, right on, right on.
Exactly.
Right on, right on.
Exactly. Right on.
So Stan, Malaman 24 said that he's found 34 rings. I couldn't even tell you how many I found. I don't know. It's a surprise when I find a ring or any kind of jewelry, because I got to tell you, I am finding myself to cherry pick a little bit more because Dave and I have actually been detecting in some really trashy spots. And so we're trying to pick out little higher tones in between all that trash. If we detected, and on the knocks, if we tried to dig up every 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, we would be there for hours and hours digging up all that stuff. But one day I'll make like a video, you know, how many pull tabs can I dig in an hour or something like that.
Yeah.
I found 0 rings.
In here, it's easy to count.
Do halves count? Because I found a half of one recently too.
Sure, they do count. They absolutely count.
I have a ton and a half.
Those pull tabs look like rings when they're sticking in the ground.
Yeah.
They do.
They are actually rings.
So Liz, I have a question for you. So obviously in Canada, lots of differences that take place within Canada and the United States. Do you see any differences within the law in city parks? I know you've maybe mentioned it a couple times on your videos, permissions, maybe the consensus of what people think of metal detectorists in Canada. Is it maybe different, the same?
I think it's pretty much the same. And this is just very broadly right now, but any public area in Canada, you can metal detect on. I mean, you need your best practices. You don't be digging crazy holes and leaving your holes uncovered. But for the most part, public areas in Canada are definitely diggable and detectable. There are some municipalities that have cracked down on metal detecting for whatever reason. And we have actually discussed this current situation in Windsor, Ontario. We've discussed that on one of my live streams, and I actually had I had someone come on from one of the local metal detecting clubs. But for the most part, as long as you are not leaving open gaping holes and you're really, you know, try and cover up your holes so that it looks like you weren't even there. I think that is, I mean, the stealth diggers say that, and that's exactly the way it is. People are just curious. Nobody is confrontational. I have not been in a confrontation with anyone. They're curious. What have you found? What did you find? Are you finding anything? Is pretty much it. And I have been to countless parks in the summer when the maintenance crews were doing the grass and all that sort of thing. And all they want to know is like, hey, did you find anything interesting? What have you found? I've never been asked to leave a property, and whether that be a public park or a public school. I've never been asked to leave a property. And like I said, as long as you exercise some common sense and leave the property better than you came, and always carry junk in your pocket so that you can show them that you're cleaning up the park or the school or whatever. In Canada, nobody will bother you.
It's good to know. That really is good to know.
Let's all go to Canada.
Absolutely. We will definitely accept you all.
Oh, any other questions?
I have one. How do you feel about, like, some people sell their finds? Like, we don't. We don't sell any of our relics or anything, but if we get really fancy modern jewelry, sometimes at the end of the year, we'll get rid of that, but we don't sell any of the historic jewelry or coins or relics. How do you feel about that?
I've never sold anything, but I mean, if I needed to eat, if I needed to eat and I had a diamond ring or something, I would absolutely sell it. I think that's something that an individual needs to make the decision on. And if you feel that you need to sell a relic or something, then all the power to you. But I myself, I have never sold anything, and thank God I've never been in this economic situation where I need to even think about that. So I don't have a problem with that. I really, really don't.
Awesome.
I think I mentioned before on the stream, but that's one of the ways that I actually upgraded my metal detector was I found a lot of modern gold. And I think I saw Stan say the same thing in our chat where, I sent it to a refinery and they sent me back like 95% spot on, whatever it was. And that's how I upgraded a bunch of my stuff. But I won't sell anything anymore. That's why, most of the time, if you see me rubbing a silver dime or some people flip like,
oh yes.
but I'm like never going to sell it. It's like my baby. It's like, it's going to stay in my collection, pass down to my kids and hopefully their kids as well. So good point about not selling it. So
I don't have a problem with, I mean, you got to do what you got to do to survive. I don't have a problem with that at all.
Cool. What other questions? Come on, there has to be some more.
Well, how about you want to tell us about some of your live streams?
Oh, I love your live stream.
They're awesome.
Can I ask a question leading up to your live streams?
Yes, go.
Oh, one of the biggest things that I'm always interested in, since you said you left the police force and you started metal detecting, how long were you metal detecting before you decided to do a YouTube, and what made you want to start the YouTube channel?
Goodness. Oh, wow. I was metal detecting for quite a few years before I started. I think my first video, and please do not, and I'm telling you all, like I'm looking at the screen, do not go on my channel and watch my first video. Absolutely horrendous.
We're all going to do that now.
Absolutely horrendous. Oh my goodness.
Go there now.
Oh my goodness. It's horrendous.
Link.
But I thought, I watched all these videos and I thought, I'd like to do that. And you know what, like I said, I was looking for a hobby, and it's a great way to spend some time creating some videos. And not only that, but generations from now, our children, our grandchildren, once we're maybe long gone, we'll have something to watch and they'll be able to see that. And, they'll be able to say that, hey, my grandma or grandpa, whatever the case may be, was a pretty cool person. So I think the longevity is absolutely incredible. Incredible.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you. Now to your question.
Tell us about your streams.
Oh my goodness. The lives. I don't know when I started live streaming. It could have been a couple years ago, but I do off the cuff, which I think that started one day. I just went live one day because I think I had something to say. I don't remember what it was I had to say, but and I was talking and I'm like, this is like off the cuff. And then my daughter, who I call Connect Junior, she just said, hey, that sounds like a great name for a live stream. So I started off the cuff. And then I absolutely don't know how Coffee with Liz came up on Sunday mornings, but it's a great, I know it's early for a lot of people, but it's a great way to start your Sunday morning with some coffee and just some chit chat. And if I have some stuff planned, I'll throw that in as well.
Well, I have to say, I absolutely loved when you started to talk about how other YouTube channels are treating other YouTube channels in this.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Yes,
Really
definitely.
I give you a great deal of credit
Thank you.
for going out and discussing something that isn't very popular.
No, it's not. Yeah. Yeah. That off the cuff about divisiveness in the hobby was something that I wanted to do for quite some time. If you're on any sort of social media, Facebook, Twitter, even Instagram, you can see some posts that people just because of the anonymity, I guess, of social media, some people just, they kind of like to, I don't know what the word is, but kind of talk. Bully. I don't know. I might have used the word bullying, but some people don't like that. But some of the smaller channels, they see this. People are being made fun of for the equipment that they use. It kind of rubbed me the wrong way for such a long time that I thought, you know what? Nobody's really talking about this. So I thought, what the heck? I'm going to talk about it. And I did. And I'm actually glad I did, because there's, I don't know what it is. There's a lot of cliques that develop in the hobby. And I didn't think it would develop in this hobby. But like I said, I think because of social media, it kind of empowers people in a negative way to kind of like pile on the little guy, little girl kind of thing, smaller channels. And I didn't like any of that. And like the negative comments that some people get. I mean, if you don't like a video after you've watched it, even after you've watched 1 minute, turn it off. There's absolutely no need whatsoever to thumbs down a video or even to leave a negative comment. And that's really what bothers me, really bothers me.
So Joel knows exactly why. Joel from Digging Deep Beeps. I get, he just added the beeps to the channel, so I have Joel understands exactly what you're talking about. Joel and many other YouTube creators who aren't making a dime just do it for the exact reason why you said, so that your kids or your grandkids or even great grandkids one day, and everybody's doing the best they can with the equipment that they have. To give a thumbs down.
I know.
Like, it's just like, why would anyone deserve a thumbs down when someone's trying to do exactly what you just said? Just dig and have fun, as a lot of people say. So
yeah,
some people are just trolls, and they love to see other people miserable, and they
exactly.
It's terrible.
That's because they're miserable too.
It's definitely not cool. It's not cool to hurt someone's feelings or to post anything negative, and nothing good comes out of it. It doesn't make them look good, even though they may think it does. And, so
keyboard heroes.
It is what it is.
Some of us wear knee pads, some of us don't. Some of us use a sling, some of us don't. Some of us use like, it doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter what machine people swing, as long as you're walking.
As long as you're swinging.
No.
Exactly.
Out there.
Exactly.
Looks like Brandon's trying to join us. Mr. Detectorist is trying to join us. He's a member of the panel. Hope you can make it in here, Brandon. We get to pick on Brandon now because of his good weather. Oh, he dumped out.
He'll be back.
Yeah, he'll hopefully be back. But how's the weather over in your neck of the woods there, Liz?
It was today. It was, and for the last few days, it's been like 2 Celsius. So that's about 41, 42 Fahrenheit. Very diggable weather, and the ground here is still very diggable. So yeah, Aaron and I are trying to get out there. We're actually supposed to be detecting tomorrow at one of his permissions, but it's supposed to snow tonight, like 1 inch of snow, but we're still gonna head out because I figure it will make for good video. But yeah, until the ground freezes, we are definitely getting out there.
So one of the questions that I think we've all answered is, if you had one place to detect, where would you like to go and detect? And I think that everyone who's been with us has answered that. Where is the one place that you would really like to get to?
Oh, absolutely. Without even thinking about it too much, Europe. I want to detect a World War I battlefield and like find a dog tag or a bullet or something from World War I. I absolutely have, I don't know, I'm totally fascinated by World War I. Yeah, I would absolutely love to detect on a battlefield.
No,
Hey,
they, go ahead. I'm sorry, Nancy. Go ahead.
You've mentioned World War I in other of your videos that I've watched. Have you always been fascinated with World War I, or is it because of metal detecting you're now more fascinated by it because of the relics and what you can find?
Well, more so now because I know that if I was out there, I could probably find some cool relics, but just the time frame, it was a different kind of time. Everyone was kind of, without getting political. I'm not going to get political. I don't like to get political, but it was a different time. People were fighting for like the right reason. And I would absolutely love, just totally fascinated. I would love to find a relic from that time frame.
Go ahead, Jody.
Oh,
Sorry.
Liz, it's contagious because I totally forgot what I was going to ask you.
We already, Audra and I know you don't like cornfields. You found that out. But what's your favorite place to hunt? Parks.
Oh my
woods,
goodness.
Houses.
Maybe I would love to detect a cornfield if the corn stalks were down. I don't know if the corn stalks ever get down to the level of the ground, but I enjoy the woods. I am totally having a great time detecting a lot more so this I guess this fall and winter doing the woods. Absolutely love it because for the most part there's not too much junk, there's not too much like pop tab or pull tabs and that sort of thing, but yeah, I'm totally loving detecting in the woods.
She's speaking our language.
Yeah, definitely. We all love the woods.
Right.
This gets a little spiritual maybe, but on the just the cutting edge of that kind of energy. When you're in the woods, there's something special about it. There's an energy that comes from the trees. It's almost like a cleansing energy that when you're in an area, you can sense it, you can tell. And it relaxes you even more.
Yes.
Area.
Actually, yesterday when we were detecting in the woods, Aaron and I, there were 2 owls in different trees that were kind of talking to each other. And where are you going to find that? It was just absolute. It was incredible. Like owls talking to each other. It was crazy.
It smells better in the woods too.
Yes, it does.
So I think we have a question from
Riser.
Yeah, thank you very much. I always screw that up. And the question is for both Liz and the panel. If and we'll let Liz, you can go first.
Okay.
Even if stuff is coming out of the ground on the spot you're on, do you ever get the compulsion to change spots?
No, I do not. If I'm finding stuff, I'm staying there. I do not change spots.
So Dave, what do you think?
I mean, if we're in one location for the day and I'm finding stuff in that location, I'd definitely stay there. But I find compulsion to go to different places and then want to come back and go back and forth instead of being in the same area all the time.
Yep. Nancy, what do you think?
When I'm hunting by myself, I stay in the same spot that I am. But when I go out with others in a crew, we tend to go to different locations.
Audra, Rachel, I saw a video where you actually, and you said this, I think last week, where you're like, why did we do that?
We have serious issues.
Yeah, we're like, we're gonna stay right here. As soon as we find something good, we're like, we need to stay in this area.
All the time.
We
all
do,
the time.
yeah, we do like maybe a 3-foot circle around whatever we found,
And
and
we
then
start wandering, spreading out. And then we're all gonna say, we're gonna stay in that spot. We're gonna stay in the spot.
we've even attempted the gridded area.
And then when we get far, we're like, we're gonna go back there, okay? Right? On the way out? No. We go all the way back.
We set up the flags to grid an area. That lasted like 2 minutes. Because we both wandered out of the grid.
That's
Put our
me. I'm the
backpack
wanderer in the woods. You put me in the woods and I just kind of go all over the place.
It is so funny. It is, and I said this last week, and I'm like tearing up thinking about it because it's so funny. It's like when I said last week when I'm in the car and I'm ready to go, it's like I'm a 16-year-old kid and I can't wait to get to this amusement park, and it's just the funnest thing. And then I get out. I have a plan. I got a plan. This is what I'm gonna do. I remember the spot. It was all trashy. I'm gonna go really, really slow. I'm gonna put it open up my detector. I'm gonna do it in this mode. I'm gonna get on. I had a great plan, but when you get there, I am all over the place. I never ever can stick to my plan.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah. You get there and you're like, oh, this is awesome, awesome, awesome. We just got this, and you're like, oh, look shiny 20 feet over that way.
We do it all the time, no matter where we are. We're terrible. Like when she found the Jersey copper, we're like, we have to stay right here.
2 minutes.
Yeah, it lasted maybe 2 minutes before I look up.
We still got to get back there one day.
I'm way over on one side. She's like,
we're singing
the other way.
We're singing like Liz sang in her last video. Where's
oh boy,
where's Aaron? I'm like, where's Rachel?
That's funny. Oh, I just snorted. Great. That's awesome. So,
dude.
So I guess you have a couple things to share, right, Liz? That you brought some relics. We'll try to.
I did. I don't know how well they're going to show up because they're not pictures or anything, but I just wanted to say a big thank you to Karen, Metal Pirate Girl. And if you're not subscribed to Karen's channel, you absolutely have to subscribe to her channel. But last year, not this year, last year, she invited me to a permission of hers, and we did some bottle hunting or bottle digging, I guess, in a dump. And I just wanted to share that I actually dug 2 of these, and they're not showing up.
Kind of see it.
Kind of see it?
Yeah.
I dug 2 of these, and these are complete. These are complete ball jars. And they also have the, green screen. They also have the metal, I guess the bale seal.
Wow.
So I dug 2 of these, absolutely incredible. And like I said, I just want to thank Metal Pirate Girl for inviting me to the bottle dump, because it was absolutely incredible. And I got to say, I found some incredible bottles. This one's from 1920, by the way. And I found my very, very first marble ever. I've never found another marble, but I found one at that bottle dump. And right on. Metal Pirate Girl, thank you so much. I really appreciate the invite. So
has that made you look for any bottle dumps in your area?
Oh, there are none. There are none. I'm always out on the woods and I'll see a bottle. It's like modern, but I'll be like, oh, I wonder if there's a bottle dump around here. But no, I haven't found one. So it is what it is.
We usually
go ahead, Rachel.
I was just gonna say we usually stumble across them, but a lot of times it's because Audra will see a bucket, an old rusted bucket.
Yeah.
So look out for that.
Yeah.
So let me share. This is I'm just sharing just because I got it pulled up, and Dave and I went out today real quick, and I will share this very, very quickly. Found it's probably 1900s. I don't think it's 1800s, but it is a lipstick case. And what's interesting about this is that I opened it and the lipstick was actually still in there.
Oh,
wow.
Ooh.
It was not.
Was it your shade?
He's wearing it right now.
I didn't put it on.
He put it all on before we left.
Dave, you told him Insane. All right, so not sure exactly what it's all saying, but definitely in one piece, no dents or anything like that. So I was just really happy to find that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Very cool.
so
Very nice.
I know that Dave, did you you mentioned last week the pipe you found, right?
Oh yeah, the smoking pipe,
Hot pipe.
pot pipe in a farm field.
Yeah.
Nice.
Was that a pop, or pot pipe?
Pot marijuana pipe.
Oh, speaking of which, let me share this. I actually found this, and you're probably not. Oh, there it is. You're probably not going to see this, but I actually dug this item a couple years ago with my cousin Kelly, and I gotta say, for being in the police department, I had never run across any of. Oh, there you go. I've never seen. Let's see. Oh my goodness,
That's
everything's back
perfect.
there, right there.
Yeah.
I dug this and I had absolutely no idea what it was, but it opens up.
It's a
and
grinder.
Yeah, it is. I
Look
had
at
no
this.
idea.
He knows too well.
I'm a
I
retired cop. I dealt with those a lot.
I had never seen this before. So yeah, it's a grinder for some stuff.
Wow.
But
That's
yeah.
a unique find.
I had never seen that before. I led a very sheltered life before going into the police department. But yeah, I found that, like, you brought up the POT, so I thought I would.
Yeah.
We found a
Sure.
pot pipe
There's
once.
my pipe.
Oh, right on.
That's awesome.
Right on. Right on.
We have a couple.
Do you?
We found no.
Okay, next question.
Right on.
Oh. So besides Pound the Ground, do you have plans to attend any other group outings? We got word that there's another Pound the Ground over in. Did somebody already answer that or ask that?
There's a Pound the Ground light, I think, in April.
Yes.
I can definitely say that I will not be going to that one. As far as the other one, I don't know yet. There's some events here in Toronto that I will definitely, the Woodbine Beach events, I will definitely be attending those. We don't really get too many events that are kind of, nearby. Most of them are like 8 hours drive. And unless you kind of hook up with a couple people and share the ride and that sort of thing, it's they're really not doable.
So besides the bounty hunter, how many detectors have you had? And
my.
And how quickly have you transitioned?
Oh wow.
Nancy transitioned very quickly.
I had the bounty hunter, then I went to the Ace 250. That one did not last a week. I sold that one. Got the AT Pro. Loved that machine. But then I got a, oh my goodness. I'm just going to list them all. I had a, oh my goodness. I wrote this down. Actually, I thought you were going to ask me this. I had a White's MX5, which to this day, I swear is the most balanced metal detector I've ever owned. Cause like it took 8 batteries, but they were in the arm cuff, really nicely balanced. The White's MX5. I purchased a GoFind 60 as a supplemental detector. And I'm sorry, I'm just going to say like it is. Not something you want to buy. That was not a good one. I had the MindLab Safari as well. It loves silver, very, very heavy detector. And then I had the Fisher F22. Once again, very, very light. I'm not brand loyal. I'll tell you that right now. I'm definitely not brand. I will try any detector, not a problem. And then I actually just last week, I actually won a MindLab Xterra 305, which is apparently on the way to me right now.
Congratulations.
So thank you. I have had a lot of detectors, currently using the MindLab 600, and I absolutely love it. Yeah. Love it. And I repurchased a Garrett AT Pro. I repurchased it used, but I like to dig clad, and I found that the Equinox 600 does not like Canadian clad. So I'm hoping in the spring to get back to digging some Canadian clad, just as a supplemental thing with the AT Pro.
Now in Canada, obviously, I wish that the United States would go more to this, but we have a lot of paper money. You guys have lots and lots of coin increments that are way up there.
Oh yeah, we have the $1 coin and then the $2 coin. So I mean, if you're out in a park, that could quickly add up to a lot of money. And I think that is it Jim in Australia? He digs one. They also have $1 and $2 coins. He calls them goldies, I think. He in one day going out, he can pick up like 20, 30 bucks. Just in a day. And I'm hoping to get back to that with the AT Pro.
And it's a loony and a toonie?
Yeah, loony and a toonie.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we have another question. Have you ever screened or dug and sifted a site?
No, I haven't. But there are a couple sites that I go to that people tell me that I should be using some sort of a sifter. And I might do that. I might do that in the spring. I'm not really sure.
So what got you into the coin rolling? I know you dabbled with that.
Free silver. Predominantly free silver. With our quarters, we just have so many quarters, and we have colorized quarters.
Yes, you do.
That they're just really, really cool to collect. And there's some really, really nice varieties in quarters. And the Royal Canadian Mint, I think, is leading the way as far as varieties to collect, as far as quarters and especially colorized stuff. There's a ton of stuff. You could really fill a coin book really, really fast.
Lots of fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Let's not all talk at once.
Dead silence. Any other questions that we might have for Liz or anybody else on the panel? If you want to be in the after party, the after party is going to start here in about 15 minutes. I'm going to share the password along with the link to the Zoom video broadcast. And you will not be live on YouTube. We will turn off the live, and we can just sit and chit chat and have a little after party, talk about some other things if we'd like. And I'll share that in the chat here in just about 5 minutes. I know a couple people have been asking for that. Hopefully you can join and sit and talk to Liz face-to-face or kind of face-to-face, and do that in the comfort of your own home without being live on YouTube. So I'll share that with us in just a little bit. Any other questions that people might have, or anything else, Liz, for the good of the order that is on your mind that you want to get up?
Wow. That's an open-ended question.
It is because, well, I mean, we have a lot of people that we plan on having on. There's a lot of things going on within the metal detecting world with, etiquette and people who are, well, you already had mentioned the YouTube thing and people who aren't. I'm just curious because you seem to be, and I think I'm pretty perceptive. You're up on a lot of things that are going on current event wise within the metal detecting community. And so if you have anything to add, we'd love to hear it.
I try to be on the cutting edge of stuff going on. I'd love to get into actually more not controversial, but stuff that people don't really want to discuss, but they're thinking about it. I would actually love to do that a little more, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough. You got to put yourself out there a little bit.
Yeah.
We do have another question from Darcy, who I believe is one of your neighbors over in Canada. What's your oldest silver, Liz? He wants to know.
Oh, my oldest silver. oh goodness, I'm gonna say, but I don't think it is. I'm gonna say it's the 1912 fish scale 5-cent piece that I dug this year. I'm gonna say that, Darcy, but it might not be. It might not be. But yeah, I gotta tell you something. Last year, I met Darcy, who is Kept Valley in the chat, and he was working in my neck of the woods. He had to travel for a job in my neck of the woods, and he asked if we could meet up and go beach detecting. So I actually met him at this at a beach, which is in kind of a couple towns away. But when we got there, the beach, because of the storms and the wind, there was no beach whatsoever. So we were trying to make the best of it. And Darcy was actually going to detect. He's so hardcore that he was actually going to detect pretty much in the lake because the beach was gone. And I just want to say that he actually gifted me with some homemade maple syrup from his orchard. And it was absolutely incredible. So Darcy, thank you very much for that. And I totally look forward to digging with him again. And I really, really, for me, detecting is the friendships and the just getting out there and detecting with people. I mean, I don't care if we don't dig anything. I hope you dig something. I really don't care about myself. But to me, detecting is all about the friendships and the camaraderie and just the memories that you make with other people. And if there's anybody out there that wants to detect with me, absolutely hit me up and we will make that happen.
Oh, that's great. That is great.
There's a question in the chat for all of us, actually. Michael is wondering, do any of us use GPS on our phone to mark a good item while out in the woods when you're detecting?
I wish I had many, many times, but I have never done that.
I've never done that either.
No, we tried it a couple times, but no, we just use historic maps and do research ahead of time and then go try and find it.
Well, I think he means once we found the good stuff, but we kind of know where like the location, because when we find something good, even though we wander away from it, we go back there.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I do. I have on XHunt. So when I'm out driving and I see an area that like a cellar hole or a lot of rock walls, I'll stop and I'll mark my location, and then I can go home and try to do some research to see who about that.
What app do you use?
It's called On XHunt. It's actually a hunting app.
Oh, okay,
But it gives you all the information of who owns the property, how big the property is, their address. So if you want to write them and contact them, it shows you the boundaries and what if it's state property. It's pretty cool. There's some really great information on that, but it also has the GPS so you can mark your points, your waypoints, which that feature I absolutely love when I'm out and I see something.
See, we've been looking for a good app. See how great this community is.
Give it a try.
So Mike from Mallyman 24, he mentions a really good and kind of a really bad thing that goes on when you take a picture, because if you don't turn your geolocation off in pictures, you have a geotag that goes along with where you were when you took that picture. So I'm a health teacher. I talk to my kids a lot about, safety, internet safety, things like that. That's one of the things that they need to make sure they don't have on with our issues that are going on. But he recommends, or at least suggested, that if you have it turned on and you took that picture, then you would know exactly where you were when you found that. Maybe in a big, huge field, you can go ahead and get yourself back to that spot. He's always thinking, man.
So would everybody else who clicks on that picture and goes to properties.
You have a point there. You have a point.
We don't share our location on our phones or anything like that.
Good point.
There are some people out there, though, that can actually tell you without any electronic device exactly, almost to the square foot, where they dug a relic. It's incredible. It really is.
You do, though. It's one of those things you kind of remember. Like I went out this weekend with my daughter, and I'm trying to get her into detecting with me a little bit. So we were going in through the backwoods, and she saw some of my digging spots, and she's like, "What did you pull here?" I'm like, "Oh, that's where I pulled that." And she's like, "Where did you pull there?" I'm like, "Oh, that's where I got the 908 barber." And she's like, "Really?" And so she was pointing to that, and I can remember. I couldn't believe it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
There's another question here from Finding Goodies 2 for Jersey history hunters. I've been trying to use my metal detector for the Garrett ATP, and I'm having a hard time trying to find good stuff with it. But what is the setting that you use on yours?
We both used Pro. Zero just on zero. Audra has her iron discrimination a little lower than I do. And we both keep our iron audio on so we can hear the grunts.
Yep. So Pro 0 with the iron audio on. That's what we use. It doesn't mean it's right.
If it gets too loud, because like, if there's a lot of iron in all your ears, it can hurt your ears after a while. So we'll turn it off. But we like to hear the iron.
Yeah, so, I was out with Dave. How long were we out today, Dave? An hour and a half?
Yeah, about.
Maybe. And I had my iron on the entire time, and I turned it off for the last 20 minutes because it was like, I mean, we were in a really trashy area.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
with separation, because I have a Knox 800, and so the separation with the Knoxes, it's as good as any of the other ones out there, but it's like, you know, I mean, it's just nonstop sometimes. So yeah, I had to cancel out and do that as well. It does become I would say annoying at times if you're in a really trashy area.
Yeah, it does.
And with, you know, as you know, with the AT Pro, you can't turn the iron volume down. So
but you can on the Simplex. You can turn that down, and that's one
so
good
it's kind of
thing.
like, it's in the background, so you can still hear it, but it's not like killing your eardrums.
Speaking of Simplex, Liz, do we see a Simplex in your future?
Not unless Nokta wants to send me one. No. No, I'm not going to jump aboard that bandwagon. Yeah, I mean, I just, like I said, I just won an Xterra 305. I know it's not, you know, not a big deal on the it's an entry-level detector, but no, I think I'm okay. I really think there's stuff in my 600 that I really haven't learned yet. And yeah, I'm gonna stay with my 600 and my AT Pro.
Yeah, we got to take our 600 out once in a while. It's getting dusty.
You can have too many detectors. I must say, you can have too many.
No, when we used to take people with us, I would use the 600.
I love the Simplex. It's light. It's very, you know, it's a good machine. It's good to have.
Just put it in a backpack.
You can put it in a backpack. I like that.
And Joel from Digging Deep Beeps also got one recently and is just all over it, raving about it as well. So yeah, I mean, so like I talked to my daughter last week, and I'm trying to get her to commit, like, okay, listen, like, I'll buy you a Simplex. Come out with me a little bit more. And, you know, she's 17 and it's hard to get her to do a lot of stuff with us anyways. But I think she might, you know, might go that route. And yeah, I might end up getting one for her. We have, you know, we have some Bluetooth speakers, so we really don't need the actual 300 and something one. We can get the 200 and something one, which I think is a great detector, good price range, and all that other good stuff that's going on with it.
The only major issue we have with it, because it is a great entry-level machine, is the buttons are super hard to push.
But they're getting better. They're working their way in. When we first get it, we couldn't figure out how to turn it on because nothing was happening. We're like, oh, you got to use like.
And it seems to be the biggest complaint that I when I researched the stuff on it and you know, customer reviews and stuff like that, it seems to be the biggest complaint is the buttons are really tough. It's like an outer plastic that's over the button. It's kind of really hard.
Yeah, I heard the people were talking about the pinpointer is to the left and not in the center. And that was one of the features that people said was a little odd. So
That's probably why I love it so much, because I'm always to the left and not the center.
She pinpoints better with that.
Usually when we dig a hole, Audra will come over and say, yeah, it's way over here. You know, and I'm like, you know, 3 o'clock, and she's like, no, it's at 7 o'clock. So
That's awesome.
All right. So anything else for the good of the order, or should we try to get this after party started?
Before you go to the after party, Liz, your logo, where'd it come from? I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, the logo.
Right,
Yes, you've changed it.
I did change it. The Mountie logo, the original logo with the Mountie, is actually some artwork that I changed myself. But unless you totally create it from scratch, you really don't have the, I guess, the rights to the logo. So I was kind of thinking that maybe in the future, somebody could come back at me and say, hey, you know, I own the rights to that or whatever. So anyway, so I had the new logo commissioned, and I can say that I own the logo. I can put it on whatever I want, and nobody can come back at me. So
It's you.
yeah, I still have the Mountie. The Mountie is still available on mugs, but yeah, the
Like
other
this.
logo, exactly like that. Exactly. That's it. I do not own the rights to that one. But yeah, the new logo is here to stay. I got a lot of flack on the new logo, but
it's great. I think it's
here.
People don't like change.
No, they don't. They don't. But like I said, for all the legal reasons, and you just never know what's going to happen. Like tomorrow, I can totally say that I own the rights to the new logo, and it's here to stay.
That's great.
Well, we're going to go to the after party now. Right on, right on. And Liz, thank you so much for coming on and sharing, you know, and being willing to subject yourself to some questions and kind of ad lib through. And we really do appreciate you coming on and being a part of our panel. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Absolutely my pleasure. Thank you all for having me, and everyone in the chat. Thank you so much for joining. I really do appreciate that.
And if you are interested and you're in the chat still and you'd like to be a part of the show in the after party, please go ahead and click on the Zoom link, and the meeting password is 033079. It will be available as long as we have our after party. Please come and join us and ask Liz questions, or just want to share some thoughts that you might have regarding metal detecting. So
before we go, Jordy, sorry, before we go, can I just stay here and I'll be in the after party, or do I have to do anything?
No, you don't move. You're good.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'll be here then.
So,
Michael Busy Bee just asked if this is every Wednesday show, and yes, it is.
Mike, yeah, thanks. It is. It's every Wednesday, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We apologize of the time for people who are on the West Coast and how it might interfere with work or things like that. But it seems to work for us right now here. And we don't want to interfere with any of the other streams that are going on, podcasts that are going on. We thought this was a good time. So, all right. So thank you all for being here online. Thank you for being in the chat. And have a wonderful week detecting, everybody. And we'll talk to you next Wednesday.
Come to the after party. Click it.
Join us.
Click.
Bye, all.
Bye, all. Thank you very much.
Bye.